When you notice this in your spiritual journey, stop it immediately. Here's your warning. Let's dive into it. What am I warning you about? It's nothing scary, but you're going to save yourself a lot of time and a lot of pain and a lot of energy if you stop doing this thing that I'm about to talk about. Before I do that, just want to introduce you down below to the free breathing practice that's down below, the free introduction to Hatha Yoga, and there's also the Freedom Blueprint that you can apply for. This is for the person that's ready to take the next step, that's really sincere. I'm losing faith. We've had to turn a lot of people away because some people just aren't ready for this practice. And if you are one of those people that have sent in an application form, I'm sorry, it's not personal, it's just the feeling's not there for it, you know. So if you're going to sign up for that, then by all means do, but remind yourself it's a 6-month process, and so you really do have to be the right person for that. Now, what am I talking about? I want to talk about the spiritual straitjacket that you are going to put yourself in. And the thing is, most of us aren't David Blaine, you know, that great magician that can wangle his way out of a straitjacket. Although in a way we are, because you will in time, but first you're going to have to go through lots of pain, lots of broken bones and dislocated elbows that actually you don't need to go through. What is the saying? The saying is, the path is quick for those without preferences. Now, in relationship to this, what does it mean? Well, really it means the path is quick for one who is willing to lose their identification with form. What forms do we tend to put on? Meaning, what masks do we tend to put on to the world, especially in our early journey? Well, it's the mask of, I'm better than I say I am spiritually. Oh yes, I'm totally non-violent, completely celibate, yet still completely horny. I don't eat meat, I'm completely vegetarian. Yes, I'm completely pure in my energy, I don't drink or do drugs or anything like this. It's like, yeah. Get honest with yourself, because as soon as you can get honest with yourself, the better this is going to be for you and the other people around you. Now, I know, because I'm talking from experience, so don't think I'm anything other. I'm not. I've just been through it, you know. And the mind will try and pretend to be something that it's not, which is essentially a lie. One of the greatest teachings is satya, truthfulness and honesty. And sometimes it takes a lot of courage and a lot of honesty to be able to admit, yeah, I'm not quite where I think I am. And also, where is that anyway? Because even if you have a big awakening experience and the ego grabs hold of it and goes, I'm enlightened, then it's going to bring you back at some point to your natural resting point, beingness, presence, our natural ground of being, ground zero of our consciousness, and then the mind is going to want to go up and up and up again. Of course, this is ego, and any experience you ever have is just going to bring you back here to this peaceful, centered, harmonious state of being as you live out your life. And so when the mind begins to create an identity around that which I am not yet, meaning perfect spiritual being, it's insane, because you are the perfect beingness that you are. And as soon as you create an identity out of something you believe that you should be already, you're suddenly not that. So really, you're not being spiritual at all. Spiritual identity, though, it seems to be a necessary aspect of the path, and I get it, because it's so subtle, isn't it? It's so subtle. It's the same identification with ego as before. It's just got spiritual clothing on. It's there like a Buddha. Yes, I am this. I am spiritual now. I'm better than you, and I'm better than you, and wow, God loves me. Look at all of these experiences I've had. And it's like, yeah, but what are those experiences doing for you now? Because they're now creating arrogance in a system that is learning, or at least trying sincerely, to not be that. And so what can we do to cut through the BS? Well, we have to get honest with ourselves, isn't it? And admit to myself that I'm not quite where I want to be yet, but right now I am exactly what I need to be. In fact, now is what we are. That should be our names. Like, we shouldn't have names like Jamie, John, Sarah, Lucy. No. Our name should be now. We're always now. Until we create an identity in time. And grab hold of that identity with the energy. We see the energy move and believe it. Oh yes, I should be this. I should be. It's all connected to perfectionism, isn't it? I should be perfect now. I'm the best at sex. And then when we're not, who gets hurt? Me. Or somebody disagrees with this. Who gets hurt? Me. I'm the most spiritual person ever. Whatever, you know. I've completed my journey. Oh, those ones are hard to break down. Like, I've seen them in my coaching and I've known them in me. It's like sometimes you then have to shout at them and say, get honest with yourself. Come back down to earth, because that's what we need, isn't it? We don't need spiritual highly beings alienating everybody. We need grounded warriors that can relate with humility to others and help raise the consciousness and give ideas, tidbits of wisdom, almost as if you're an old soul or like in an elder's body, you know, to be able to give a little bit of intuitive wisdom as and when it's appropriate. But then to have the maturity to not need them to do anything with it. To know in yourself this is the right thing for you right now, but to not need them to change. It's to give the gift and let them do whatever the hell they like with it, because they might judge you for it. And then it's for the mature ones that aren't in spiritual ego anymore to be able to accept that judgment as just a representation of where they're at and nothing personal to do with me or this one. This spiritual straitjacket, this spiritual perfectionist is going to wrap you up tight, thinking we have to be something we're not. I must be celibate. Okay, well, have fun. I must not do anything bad ever. Okay, well, yep, but you're human, tighten the crank, so good luck. Because sometimes we can't accept the human aspect of ourselves, can we? So we tie ourselves up in this divine straitjacket that ends up choking us and creating such a explosion for the people that are around us. Why? Because we're so uptight in the identity that we've created for ourselves around this spiritual journey and around this spiritual perfect person that I'm now meant to be. But in fact, there are no perfect people. So let's desire to be more human than perfect. We're here to take a class in humanity. So this world is a big school. We've signed up for human class, so we might as well get involved with it. We can have our experiences, wow, wonderful, that come through the human system. Amazing. But then we have to integrate again, back into humanity. It's not like we're ever going to escape being human whilst in this form, but we can bring the essence of those experiences, not the experiences themselves, because that's just a memory now, and it's not doing anything for you but making you more self-righteous in a spiritual identity that thinks it's better than other people because it's had this experience. We can use the essence, the teaching, the integration from that experience, because we know there's an extra dimension to life, and we can bring that extra dimensionality into ourselves right now and give from that, to have a understanding and appreciation of what the experience meant for me. It means there's other consciousness that's not really other, it's still mine, but there's divine consciousness that I'm working towards attaining, and the more and more I get filled up with that, the more I can serve other people from that, but it must be from a grounded nature. It can't be from a past experience, it must be from now. Because that's who we are. So, lots of love to you. Have a great now. Namaste.